Welcome back to my chronic illness journey, part 14. So, I'm actually going to take a moment to step away from the physical side of things and talk about mental health. Now, quick thing about this is I'm Generation X. And there was, yes, a lot of stigmatism around mental health when I was growing up. But beyond that, you got to realize that just how long ago this was. I hate saying that because it makes me sound so old, but it is true that it was, decades ago. And a lot of the medications and diagnoses, they just didn't exist at the time that I was growing up, beyond even just the stigmatism of mental health around my generation. So, the first time I actually ever even touched on mental health was around the time the one hematologist hit me up with, you have a lot of illness, right? You've suffered a lot of illness in your life. And I had sort of just never thought of it that way. And so when she hit me up with just how much illness I'd experienced, I was like, oh. And she was the same one who said, I feel like you need to see someone about your mental health. Have you ever tried seeing someone about your mental health? He felt I was showing signs of depression. So he actually, the mental health I went to at her recommendation, and he put me on depression meds. But the depression meds made me like really irritable. Like I got angry really easily on these depression meds. So I was like, no, ixnay. And I have strings with beads on my dress, and my sister's cat decided to attack them. So back to my chronic illness journey. So around the time then, though, that I stopped going to the hematologist because of everything happening, of course, the mental health specialist was also the 2-hour Darien drive over to the other city, so I stopped seeing him as well. And I did not touch mental health again until after my father passed away. After that was when I finally went and got some counseling and talked to someone again. And he said I was showing signs actually of mixed depression and anxiety. And he recommended me to go get further checked on, and it came back that I had bipolar disorder type 2. So, which kind of explained what happened when they put me on the depression meds, why I was sort of like, because it basically like it was helping stop the depression, but then it was sort of I was feeling the hypomania instead. If you're not too aware, bipolar disorder type 2 is sort of what differentiates it from type 1 is that our highs don't tend to be as high. We have what they call hypomania episodes instead of mania episodes, and it doesn't tend to spike quite as high, and we tend to have more depression and longer depression episodes rather than quite as much flux. So looking back over my life and some things, it was pretty easy for me to see the patterns once they'd all been explained to me. So I actually did get a medication. They tried some depression meds. I started to feel that irritability again, and I was like, you know what, I can tell that my irritation is beyond what it should be for what's happening. But so they also then got me on mood stabilizers to help prevent the depression meds from sending me up into the hypomania range. it took a while to get the dosages between the two right, but we did eventually, and I really could tell the difference of the way it helped keep me um, more level. Because I had, at the time when I went and saw the mental hospital, I was in a really bad, I had a really bad set of months of a depression episode. And like, I think for me, like the depression episodes, it's you know what you need to be doing. It's not even just need. Sometimes it's even just want. You know what you need and want to be doing, and you just can't. You're too tired. You just can't. Just there's no spoons to actually do any of it, and it's not even just like adulting or chores. Like, I really, really would like to play my video game today, but I can't even find the spoons to play my video game, is what, the depression episodes were like to me, or write my story, which I love writing. But I don't even have the motivation to do that. That is what those episodes and it's not just today, it's like tomorrow and the next day and the whole week. Like, I know, but I can't even find the spoons. And that's, yeah, that's what it feels like to me. And then on the flip side, when I'm having a hypomania episode, so I'm baking cookies at midnight and mopping my kitchen floor at 11 p.m. If you're wondering about the flip side of that is, and I remember when I had the medications and I was sort of evened out, I remember texting my sister actually, and being like, is this what normal people feel like? Is this what being normal is like? That you actually have spoons to do things. The other thing, that the move is sort of messed me up with is I don't have any of my mental health medications right now, so I'm just trying to deal with it and try to keep an eye on myself without it, and it gets hard. One of the things that has been a big help to me was something my counselor taught me, and it's a saying I sort of like tell myself in the morning, and it helps, is you're the chessboard, not the chess pieces. I am the chessboard, not the chess pieces. And what that means is, instead of battling the thoughts that come by, is you can just sort of be like, okay, the thought exists, but the thought isn't, like, that's not all of me. Like, kind of like, instead of having to be like, okay, like, I just had this thought and I've got to, like, checkmate or fight this piece, be like, that's just the chess piece. You're the chess board. You're still here, even if the Black Knight is over here telling you suck. And instead of trying to, like, rally the white pieces, you're not the white pieces, you're not the player, you're not the pieces, you're the chessboard. The game's taking place, but when it's over, you're still going to be here and be the same. And that's actually, it sounds weird, but it's been a big help to me, because then even when next time the Black Knight shows up and is like, you suck, you're terrible, instead of, like, trying to do this mental battle, I can be just like, I can just remind myself, like, oh, okay, whatever. I don't have to choose to react to that thought. Wow, I really talked a lot today. Stay tuned for part 15.